Welcome to the Hard Truth Podcast. This is Jeremy Fouts. Today we are going to be talking about believe and be effective. Some of the points that I'm going to share with you today, I wish I would have knew earlier on in my 20s, my early 30s, because these things I had to learn the hard way, and hopefully they can bring some meaning to you and help you understand that these two things are very important for you to accomplish the life that you want. Believe and be effective. So happy Thanksgiving. If you're listening to this, it's right after Thanksgiving. Actually, today we are actually packing up, going to go see the family in Oklahoma, and then drive back actually on Thanksgiving Day for we can get to work on Friday. So I hope that you guys find a lot of good points out of today's podcast and continue to share with your friends and family. Let's go! So let's get started here. Let's clear up a huge misconception first and foremost. Being busy and being effective are not the same thing. This is something that I found myself in business, owning multiple businesses in my early 30s. I thought that if I was busy, I was being effective. They're complete opposites, guys. Being busy don't mean you're being effective. And it's confusing when you have all these things coming at you thinking, well, I'm busy, but nothing's good's happening in my life. You know, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So here's the truth. The only thing that really matters is the results you produce. You know, if you look at whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whether you're trying to move up the corporate ladder in a corporate job, whether you're trying to build a successful business, what you always got to do is before you're working on your schedule is look at your results that you are producing. If your results are not producing what you want it to produce, then obviously our schedule has got a lot more busy items than effective items. So that's the truth. The only thing that really matters is the results that you produce. That's it. So when you go around constantly talking about how busy you are, you're actually sending the wrong message. You come across as disorganized, ineffective, and honestly a bit weak to those that know better. All of us have met these people. You talk to them at wherever you're at, ball games, whatever, and there's, oh, my life is so crazy. I'm going to run it down. All these different things. And that tells me that they're not organized, no bearing on what's effective versus what's busy, and they're not getting the results that they want. So if you come across being disorganized, ineffective, all these different things, it's because you're focused on just rating your calendar with busy things to say you're busy versus being effective. Now, here's the good news. You don't need to fake being busier than you are. Instead, what I've always did is take a step back and then, number one, think about what you actually want to achieve, whether that be in business, relationships, your personal life, your finances, whether that be your physical, whatever that's. Think about what you actually want to achieve. Create a plan to get there. You have to have a plan to get there. And then number three, execute the plan with focus. Focus. A lot of people don't understand the important word of focus. I had a gentleman call me last week and he said, man, I'm thinking about this, coming up with this business and that business. And, all these different people talk about 4 or 5 different sources of income. What do you think? And I said, what I've learned at 48 years old is find you something that works. Put all of your focus and attention and build that and build it and build it and get it to a point where then you have extra cash, then you can diversify. But you're not going to build something successful if you cannot focus and you're trying to do 7, 8, 10, 9, whatever those numbers are, all these different things at once. You have to think about what you want to achieve, create a plan to get there, and then execute that plan with focus. It's really that simple, guys. So here's the one thing that I'll tell you about. There's 2 different mindsets between losers and winners. Losers fill their schedules to the brim, mistaking activity for progress. Winners focus on being efficient and getting the most meaningful results. At the end of the day, your actions decide which group you belong to. So ask yourself, are you busy or are you effective? Now, again, these are some simple life lessons that if you'll apply them to your life in all areas of your life, getting up early, initiating a plan, putting that actions into place day in and day out. And one of the things that a lot of people run into problems with is it becomes boring. It becomes, one of those, oh, I've got to get my workout in again today. I've got to do my reading time again today. Okay, I've got to work on my personal budget. Okay, I got to work on the company budget. All these things, but that's what makes a winner. Next that we're going to talk about is talking about belief. One of the things that I've learned in all successful people is you have to believe before it happens. It starts off with a little bit of belief. I think I can, but you got to translate that and to say, I know I can. I know I will because I believe I will. So if you're going to reach that person you're striving to become, it all starts with how you think about yourself first and foremost. You've got to start seeing yourself as that version of right now. This is the person I am. I'm a person that is successful. I'm a person that's going to build the body image that I want. I'm a person that's going to speak with authority. I'm a person that's going to speak with truth. And these are little things that's going to determine your success. Here's the thing. Most of who you are isn't based on reality. It's based on how you perceive yourself. I'll read that one more time. Here's the thing. Most of who you are isn't based on reality. It's based on how you perceive yourself. Now, the reason that that's important is some of you listening today, you're not in a place where you want to be. You're sitting there and you're in a rut in life. Your physical's not where it needs to be. Your relationships, the finances, and you're sitting there thinking, man, what am I going to do? And you're just dwelling on reality of where you are. What we've got to do is we got to have a clear vision of where we want to be. We've got to have a good understanding of who you are and how God made you. And you got to say, you know what? I'm not going to focus on reality of where I am right now. I'm going to focus on what I know I am inside of me and what it is that I'm going to accomplish. It works like this. The way you see yourself shapes your actions. Now this is a little bit deep. So the way you see yourself shapes your actions. Your actions then define who you actually become. So if you think about this, if I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking, man, I'm a loser, my finances are not where it needs to be, I'm a fat slob, I'm not where I want to be from a relationship standpoint with my wife or my husband, my kids, no one respects me, no one admires me, then all of a sudden that is going to translate into very poor actions. If I wake up in the morning and say I'm a champion, I take my shirt off in the mirror and say, you know what, I might not where I want to be, but I'm headed to the gym. You know what? I walk into the gym, I look someone in the eye and I shake their hand with confidence. I talk to my kids, and expect respect back to me. They see my actions. So you've got to understand what you believe in yourself and how you see yourself shaping up to be the person you want to be. That determines your actions. Your actions then define who you actually become. So if you want to transform into the person you've always envisioned, here's what you need to do. You need to start identifying as that person today. Without that shift in mindset, you'll stay stuck. Your journey begins in your mind because belief drives progress. It's as simple as that. So today, as you listen to this podcast, make you a couple of notes. Ask yourself, am I busy or am I effective? Am I seeing the results that I want to see? Do it. And if not, do I know what it is that I want to achieve? Can I create a plan to get there? Can I execute it with focus? And do I see myself the way I need to see myself? That way it prompts me to take actions. So your journey begins in your mind because that's what drives progress. Thank you for joining the Hard Truth Podcast. Share this with a friend, family member. Follow us on YouTube. And remember, you got to believe and be effective in order to have success.